Welcome to Better Than Podcast.
Hello, everyone. This is a different kind of Better Than podcast. This is, and I think this is going to be a series. This is called Me, Myself, and I, where I'm me, my guest is myself, and you, the listener, are I. So I just feel like if we truly want to have adherence to this belief that we are all one, we are all part of a collective, we are all experiencing life as separate physical beings, so that we can bring that experience back to the collective and someday come back to ourselves, then maybe we should put our money where our mouth is. Maybe we need to begin to do this as a practice. So if you're a podcast host, what better way to do that than to ask people to participate in this experiment with me? So our first guest on this series, Me, Myself, and I, is the Cosmic Threader. Tim is a wonderful spirit and completely open to the idea of getting good at this, at talking to ourselves. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, please give me feedback, because I don't know how to do this. I've never done anything like this before, and I would welcome any ideas or suggestions that you might have to make it more effective, to make it more interesting to listen to. Whatever you got. There's a million ways to get a hold of me. You can comment on the video on YouTube, or you can hit me up on minds.com at Better Than. You can find me on Facebook, Lindsay Zimmerman on Facebook, or elmafa1 on Instagram, and just talk to me about it. I think that this could be a very helpful practice moving forward. We're in a very strange time, a lot of uncertainty. People all around us are trying to tell us that we're so divided. And I don't feel that way. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, please. I really welcome it. And I hope you guys enjoy. Here is the Cosmic Threader as myself.
You're recording, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's backwards. Is that backwards for you?
No, Plague Dodgers, are you... a dodgy individual? Want to avoid the plague? Join Plague Dodgers today. See the old fool in the courtyard for more information. 20% off tarot card readings with the Cosmic Threader. This is awesome. Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about this, Lindsay, I made this as at a medieval fair. I was doing tarot card readings, and I was playing the old fool. Square, and I made this in 2019, in November of 2019, before all this happened.
Jeez.
Isn't that weird?
That is so weird.
Like my creative self was channeling this clairvoyant, hey, the plague is coming again.
You know, maybe that's a
weird?
sign that you should be pushing your tarot card readings more.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
It seems It seems slightly like a premonition, you know.
I think so. So I should be doing more tarot, you think?
It's like your higher self was already planning.
Yeah.
We got to just find a badass way to promote your tarot that nobody else has, because there's like 1,600,000 tarot card readers.
I love your channel idea.
Oh,
Me, myself, and I love it. Like, I think you're on exactly the right wavelength there.
What I want to do, I don't know that it's going to be a separate channel. I think I'm going to put it under the Better Than Podcast umbrella, but it'll be like a series,
like a offshoot.
Yeah, but I think what would be really cool is to have talk with a bunch of different people, but to have you on like on a fairly regular basis, because we're gonna
not all the time.
we can help each other practice and get better at communicating as ourselves, you know? And it would be really cool to like step away, and I'm going to be practicing doing this even if I'm not hitting the record button. Like I really want to like master talking to other people like myself. So then when we get back together, we can see how much we've progressed at that, because you and I will be gauging each other, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we work very naturally together.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm flattered. I mean,
Cool.
it's really
Well, I
awesome.
don't mean to flatter you, but
Yeah.
it just seemed like I was like, I know that Tim and I would work really well together. I know that we would have endless things to talk about. And this is something that, I mean, this is a vehicle for us to be able to do that. So,
Yeah, I think so.
I'm super stoked.
Good. Yeah, you look very nice, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're actually, you know, you have your makeup on, and here I'm just like a bum off the street, right?
Well, if we ever get together in person, I'll do your makeup for you and you'll feel beautiful.
Thank you, because I'm a very pale Canadian right now, as you can see. I'm like a pale troll.
I was very resistant to doing video because I don't want to have to do makeup and stuff.
I actually have makeup. I probably should do. I have stage makeup, so I don't know if it's good for. Do you know? Does stage makeup work on camera?
It's not. No, it's not the same. If you were gonna do anything, all I would do is put a little concealer under your eyes, make your eyes look a little bit more awake, maybe a little mascara. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, have a mascara pencil right here.
But
this is a watercolor pencil. Sorry.
But actually, like, you've got good, strong features. So I think as long as your light source is directly in front of you, or not coming down too much.
Lights everywhere, so there's really no good angle where you don't have the lights behind. But you know.
Yeah. And doing video content there's so fucking much more that you have to think about, and it drives me crazy. But like Lauren has mentioned, my editor, he's mentioned it, like a couple of other podcast people that I know have mentioned it. They're like, you need to do video. You were putting out enough content where if you had video also, and I'm like, God damn it. All right, I'll do it. All right. At least like I know how to do hair and makeup professionally, so I can do that, you know.
Did you work in film and television for makeup, or?
No, it's just my profession.
Okay. Right, because you study everything, right? Not just hairdressing.
Yeah. So like doing makeup for photo shoots and that kind of stuff. I've done that. I've done makeup for commercials and.
Oh, you have? Okay, cool. I did commercials, but as an actor.
Nice.
Yeah, so I did one for Rogers. I don't know if you have Rogers down there. Rogers Media. They're like they would be like Virgin, sort of, only smaller. And then I did
like record label.
No, they were always no, they never were in records. They were always in cell phones and home phone service and Cablevision. And they own the Sky Dome, what used to be the Sky Dome in Toronto, where the Toronto the baseball team.
I have no idea. I don't even know American sports.
I don't even remember. Oh, you're not a sports girl?
Oh, no.
Oh, right. You're a meth girl.
Is that still big? I don't know, because I don't watch the news. Is anybody still talking about it?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Let's not add context, because people...
Are they still branding it that way? Have they changed the branding? Have they backed?
No, I don't know. I don't even pay attention, so I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But if we don't mention what we're talking about, then people will just think that I famously was on meth for some reason. So I say let's just leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think talking to yourself looks like? Like I want to like work out a plan. You know?
Well, we would have to, if you want to, like, it depends. Like, if you want to visually do that, we should wear, like, the exact same thing.
No, I think it's important that we recognize that this is us in another body, you know?
Oh, okay. Can we do one episode that way? Like, where we're, like, a mirror image?
That would be so weird. Yeah, we'd have to really plan for it, because we'd have to make sure that our background was the same and that, you know what I mean?
Is there a Walmart there in town? Do you have a Walmart?
Yeah,
Because
we
we could
could get the
scan the
same outfit.
clothing, probably pretty easily try to get the same outfit. Although I know some goods don't ship to Canada. Like we get different, our Oreo cookies apparently are different up here, taste different. Have you heard this?
Well, we'll have to, yeah, well, I know, I never heard about like cross country, but I know that like some brands make a cheaper version of their product for Walmart.
Yeah. Well, have you know Campbell's soup? Do you have Campbell's soup down
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
For years, they were shipping soup up here from the Campbell's company that had like 30% more salt in it because they figured Canadians had more of a taste for salt.
Why?
I don't know. Like, isn't that bizarre? And
Did
they
they
know
do
that.
like they must have done market research that showed Canadians like salt? What? I like salt.
Isn't
I
that
don't,
bizarre? Like completely different products for a very similar market.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it maybe that like Americans went through a phase where they were more sodium conscious?
This goes back to like the 40s. Like,
Oh.
yeah,
I don't
it's
even
an
think they
old,
understood market research that well back in the 40s,
not
did
the way
they?
they do now. I don't
No.
know. It was in a very early phases if they did. I mean, they had marketing, right? But it was just like a flyer, like, hey, you need this for the house, right?
So weird.
They'd sell the 50s housewives. It was all the 50s
Yeah.
housewives and the dresses, right? And the day dresses with the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, the ladies staying home watching TV all day while the kids are at school and their husbands are at work.
I don't think they did watch TV all day. I think they worked very hard, actually.
Mm-hmm.
House, keeping house was more of a thing than it is now.
But even back in the 50s and 60s, they understood that it was the woman that drove or that had the purse strings,
They
they
spent
knew
the money of
that.
the household. Yeah, they had control of the household money. It's been that way for a long time. Before
So
women
they,
had the vote, they had the purse strings, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, they were the ones that allocated the family resources. So,
And in native cultures, a lot of people think that the chief is running the clan, but it's actually the female elders are running things.
oh yeah.
The chief is just a figurehead. He's like, I don't know, don't ask me, ask the women if you want to know what the direction of this tribe is. Which is interesting. A lot of people still think, oh, the chief he's the leader, he's the real leader of these people.
Yeah.
And he is, but he isn't, right?
Well, and they say that that's how it goes for many of the kings or whatever throughout Europe. It was,
Right.
their wives
Yeah.
running shit. And
It was the wives running things.
well, it makes you wonder if that's actually what's really going on.
How do you feel about Elizabeth? Do you think she's a benevolent soul? Do you think
The matriarch?
Elizabeth of Windsor,
I think that
the queen?
she thinks that she's royalty and her entire persona is absurd. Like the
Well, she
entire
is royalty. She is.
well,
She's
who's
a.
royalty? She's royalty because her family said they're royalty. Like
Exactly.
you're not royalty, you're another person, and you think you have this idea in your head that you're
Yeah.
somehow your blood is more important or something.
Well, but can you sympathize with her at all? Because I mean, it's not like she decided this. This was like her ancestors from several generations before that decided this.
I
Perhaps
don't
she realizes the truth, but they're kind of stuck in that reality. I mean, it's interesting that Harry and um,
William.
William and his wife have left the royal family, and this shows that we're seeing that storyline sort of crumble in front of us. So I don't think Charles will ever be king. I think if Elizabeth dies, I think that's it.
It would be interesting if that were the case, because I mean that family has been swinging on this pendulum of royal blood for centuries and centuries, right? And so
Yeah.
it would be interesting. Maybe the trauma of seeing your children give up that legacy would be enough to wake you up a little bit from that hypnotic rhythm that you're in. But whether or not she actually will, I don't know. And whether or not that'll be the end of, royalty.
Yeah. Well, it's
As the
interesting.
Western
For
world
us, she's
knows
our
it.
head of state, right? Like in Canada, she's our head of state.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
She's like the last. She's like the president, right? Like she has veto rights. She has, pardon rights. If she wanted to implement a law, I'm sure it would be probably pretty easy for her to whisper in the right ears and make it happen. For all we know, that is what's happening.
I think that you're probably right about that. And so
I
that
don't know.
question that I asked earlier, you know, like, do you think that maybe it is women still running the world? You know, but
Well, that's what got me thinking about it, because I thought, well, who are women that are running things? And Elizabeth certainly qualifies.
yeah, and see, and I'm so like disconnected from the idea of anyone being royalty that I didn't even consider the Queen of England like running shit. But you know,
Well,
I think,
have you seen the Search for the Holy Grail, Monty Python's Search
oh
for the Holy
yeah,
Grail?
yeah.
The scene where you have the two peasants in the muck, and they're like, "Oh, king, are you? Well, that's very nice, isn't it?"
Pretty
I'm Arthur.
much.
I'm Arthur, King of the Britons. Well, I didn't vote for you.
Right?
I didn't
Right.
vote for you. Yeah, which of course you don't vote for a king anyways. So it's
No,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
That's triple hilarious.
I love that scene. I love that movie. It made me, the first time I saw it, I almost peed myself. I was laughing so hard.
That's a totally different perspective to have it from, since like, you know, like that's your country's leader, which
Yeah.
is so
Well, and the
weird.
Pythons, like that's their queen,
Yeah.
right? Like they're
Yeah.
British. So for them to, at that time, like in the 70s, to come out with that, like that's pretty scandalous, right?
Yeah.
It was
Which is
almost
why it was so
blasphemy.
popular.
They could have been imprisoned, actually. Like if the queen sort of decided, this is like, these are traitors because they're saying this about me, they could have put them in jail if they really wanted to, I'm sure. But they didn't.
Well, thank
They gave them,
goodness.
they're all knighted now.
Maybe she thought it was hilarious.
Maybe she thought it was funny because it was true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the truth is often very funny.
Maybe she doesn't care whether or not she's royal. She understands that she's in a position of power and she's not going to let that go. She doesn't give a shit if she's just like any other regular schmo on the street.
Maybe that would be the dream for them, right? To finally let go of this false reality, this false identity. Because I mean, imagine how hard that is to keep up, right? You have to look a certain way. You have to sit a certain way. I mean, it would be such a relief to just go, look, I'm just like everybody else. Wouldn't it?
They would have to give up their power if they did that. They'd have to be willing to let the charade that they're somehow above everyone. They would have to let that go. And I don't see anyone in it. Power never gives up what it's been given, ever.
Oh, you don't think Zuckerberg's finally going to throw in the towel and say, well, Facebook's evil, I'm just going to walk away and let Spotify take over? Because there's a takeover. I was talking to some developers. There's a behind the scenes takeover that's been happening for about 20 years. They're going to knock a lot of these guys off of their podiums, and it's going to happen quite quickly.
I wouldn't say that Zuckerberg has a lot of power, though.
He thinks he does.
I think he pretends that he does, but he knows that Facebook is a CIA op. He knows that, you know, he's not
I think it's FBI, but maybe it's CIA. They're propped up, for sure. It's propped up.
Yeah, he knows exactly what his position is and exactly, you know, how much pull or whatever. So, I mean, think about it. Why would someone come out to Congress and say, I think I'm a publisher and you should hold me responsible for millions of people? No person in their right mind trying to maintain their power would do that. They wouldn't do that.
It's very bizarre behavior.
Mark Zuckerberg, he doesn't have power. He's another billionaire for people to hate.
Yeah, his body language too is very much like a frightened kind of puppet. Like you can almost see the coaching there, right? It's strange. Like I wonder sometimes if he even is a developer, if he even knows how to code, or if he's just merely a person who's been cast in this role. I honestly don't know what the answer is, but I wonder that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I purposely haven't watched the Facebook movie because I have my own idea about what's going on over there, and I don't want all of those little creepy twists of logic and facts that you know, I've talked to people about the movie and I'm just like, well, you know, clearly this is what they want you to believe
network,
about
right?
this
You're talking about
company
the
and
social
Zuckerberg.
network?
Huh?
Yeah. The social network? The name of the movie, I think, is
Is
called
that
The
what it
Social
was?
Network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the book is much less forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would like to read, I would read the book, The Social Network, because
Okay,
it's
yeah.
very revealing about the early years of Zuckerberg as he's leaving university or college, I guess you call it there, and how he's backstabbed many of his friends. I'm sure you know about the Winklevoss twins, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're good guys either, but he backstabbed them because they
Mm-hmm.
were involved.
Mm-hmm.
They've since made billions on other ventures, so they're fine. They sued him and they won.
Mm-hmm.
So they did get Facebook money in the end.
And are those boys linked? I think that those are the boys that are linked with the CIA.
They're trust fund kids for sure. They're come from very wealthy. Winklevoss, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it probably goes back to the Mayflower, right? That money.
Yeah, because what it looks like to me is that they developed this. The CIA was like, hey, this is really cool. We want to use this. And they already had Zuckerberg in mind for
Okay,
their
so
front man.
you think maybe developed by CIA and then run by the FBI
I mean,
for
possibly.
legal reasons, perhaps?
No, I think that it's legit run by Zuckerberg and the board and the whole Facebook conglomerate. You know, like it's a real company. It's not like it's not a real company, but they get marching orders.
Yeah.
Clearly, like, why would a social network come up with their own cryptocurrency? Shut up.
Oh, Libra coin. Well, because they see where things are going and they want to try to control it, right? They want Libra coin to be the coin.
Old people are on their platform. Old people are not going to use digital currency.
No, they're not.
It's
It's gonna come from the millennials, and the millennials are savvy. They're into altcoins. They're into Ethereum. They're into Holo. Um, I interviewed my friend C, who knows way more about cryptocurrency than I do, and he gave advice about a month ago. And if a person had taken that advice, they would have tripled their money. Like, he knows what he's talking about, and that's the direction it's going to go. The question is, how long is it going to take us to go in that direction? If you're against cryptocurrencies right now, I think you need to rethink it.
mm,
I like cash too. And, for a guy, like, I love cash. So for me to be saying that, is huge.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I prefer cash.
And see, I also prefer cash.
Yeah.
But like in an ideal world, what I would see is a localized, like a local only social credit, like that. That's what I would prefer.
I think that's probably might happen. I think they may issue
too.
like physical bills, because in certain countries like Japan, they use cash exclusively. I don't know about now, but I don't know what's happening there now, but it'd be very difficult for them to move to a cashless system in a society where, and what the people that are in power do is they try to destroy the currency. They have to crash the currency. And I think that's what's happening in the States right now. That's Biden's whole goal, is to destroy the existing economy so that they can replace it. And they can't replace it until they destroy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And whether it's Libra coin or whatever, the sick thing is they've already lost because their grips on control are coming apart. They've already come apart. So it's going to become more and more pathetic, and it's going to become more and more obvious what they're trying to do. And frankly, it's kind of sad because they're human beings too. Like Joe Biden's a human being at the end of the day, and maybe the turn will be quite swift where he just says, look, we haven't been honest. This Green New Deal is to try to rope you into something different from maybe what is in the best interest of the common good, perhaps.
I don't know. To me,
I
think you're spot on when you're saying that they're absolutely trying to crash the economy, like, for sure, because this entire time, all
this Black Lives Matter stuff is designed to divide people. It's not about racism. It's designed to divide people and tear down small business so that mom and pops don't have any alternative but to turn towards the government with their hands out. And there's a famous Reagan quote where he said, the most terrifying thing I've ever heard is, hi, we're here from the government and we're here to help. I'm butchering the quote, but
yeah, no, and that sentiment has been repeated over and over on this podcast. Like, the government, first of all, they are the ones that cause the strife and the problems that the people end up suffering for, and then so they cause the problem, and then they come back to you with the solution. Here's the solution.
They don't have to cause the problems. Sometimes government can be very useful.
No, they don't. But what I'm saying is, like, this is like their MO. You know,
Yeah,
they'll create the disturbance and then also give you the solution. And the beautiful thing about this actually is that their whole, I mean, yeah, these rioters and protesters or whatever, looters, have destroyed a lot of businesses, but they thought that it was going to work to just like the divisive part. You know, they thought that they were going to be able to get us to turn on each other so that they could just swoop in and gain control. Yeah. But it's not working. Like, America knows that it's not this racist country that we've been told that it is.
Chaz, you know, all those people in Chaz, maybe not all of them, but a good chunk of them, I think, are on the payroll. They've been hired by George Soros and his cronies to camp out there, and, you know, they're probably even being provided with piles of bricks and, you know, Uzis or whatever they need for their, you know, resistance. Mm-hmm. And this happened before. They were trying to get this going with the Occupy movement, and it was the same symbol, right? The fist in the air with Occupy, and Black Lives Matter. It's the same thing, right? It's a communist symbol, right?
Well, I mean, that was the symbol of the civil rights movement also.
Yeah, and that was, even back then, it was divisive, I think, in nature. I mean, some good things came out of it. Martin Luther King, you know, great individual, great speaker, but he was probably backed as well, and, you know, sadly.
Well, I guess what I'm getting around to is that, from the way that I see it, is all of their attempts. Now, don't get me wrong, they have done a very good job in getting us to turn on people outside of the US. Like, you should hear some of the stuff when they were really pumping up the war in Iraq before we actually invaded. You should hear some of the horrible stuff that I heard other Americans say about these brown people over in the desert, you know, like.
Yeah, they would call them things like sand nigger, right?
Yes.
Which is, like, I heard that term, like, I can't remember. My friend Yogi, he's Indian. He actually told me that term, and I had never heard it before, and it was quite shocking.
And just the hate and vitriol that you would hear. The vitriol
behind a sentiment like that, yeah.
Yeah, and so, like I said, they are good at getting us to turn on other people, but from what I can tell, every time they try to get us to turn on ourselves, on actual Americans, it's not very effective, and we actually end up taking a huge leap forward.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen several times in my lifetime, but then, like I said, if you go back and you look at the civil rights movement or whatever it is, you could talk about women's suffrage or whatever, like, the American people come out more united.
Yeah.
So, and I can't think that they don't notice that. So if it's as obvious to them as it is to me, why do they do that?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I can't answer that.
But I'm just, you know, I'm happy to have that reinforcement of, like, faith in humanity every time I see it, you know, like when you saw,
nice when it happens, it's nice, right?
Yeah, when you saw all of the police officers breaking ranks and going and hugging protesters and stuff, like, you can call it set up or whatever you want. Like, that was beautiful to see that.
Yeah. That is beautiful. And I think that's why there's companies. Have you heard of Garda World?
No.
Look up Garda World. It's basically a private security company. So I think the master plan here is to replace existing police forces with private security, because existing police forces are going to refuse a lot of these measures. They're going to refuse to break up people's, you know, Christmas dinner. They're going to refuse to break up someone gathering for a music concert. So I think they sort of have anticipated that there's going to be pushback from the existing hired thugs, So they need, you know, dumber, more malleable hired thugs to move in. And, you know, if we're going to have totalitarianism, a lot of people are going to wake up fast, I think. Finally.
Yeah, I think so. People are not. Global Risk Forecast 2021.
Somebody's trying to hack us right now. Somebody's hacking my phone, maybe.
Why? What do you mean?
Or are you sharing screen? Oh, you're searching.
Yeah.
You're sharing your screen. Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out. Yeah,
it's a creepy company. The more you dig, I don't know who's behind it, but I came under my radar maybe 2-3 years ago. I noticed, and basically they're hired privately right now for a lot of like local contracts to move money from bank machines and stock things. But I think that they're just slowly establishing this company as an existing company, so that when the time comes, it's going to be a very easy transition for them to say, okay, we're defunding the police. And that's what this defund the police is actually about, because that's actually going to happen. And then they'll just replace it with this private security for the towns. And then new orders will come in the next day, kind of thing. Oh, suddenly you have curfews. Everybody has to be inside by 7:30. You know, you can't go to the bar. You can't celebrate New Year's this year, right? There's like the place I'm in right now, they close at 10, I think, on New Year's Eve.
The people would not be having it.
You know? And I'm trying to find a private underground party to go to because, you know, I don't want to give up my New Year's Eve. I mean, maybe a lot of people would say, oh, you're selfish. You should put your mask on and go sit in a corner on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but those people are just not operating in the same reality as you and I. They just aren't.
They're not. Are you doing anything? Are you your family?
I haven't even thought about it.
Thought about it, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, which is refreshing.
What's that?
It's refreshing that you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So you're deep in the woods out there with all of the mask wearers.
Well, I'm in a town called Prince George. It's named after royalty, right? Prince George we have, and Prince Rupert is near here. So they named a lot of these small towns after royals.
But I mean, the people around you, are they pretty big on masks? You're in a building and you're not wearing a mask?
Here, a lovely bartender. She's got a mask on, so I can't see her pretty face. She has lovely eyes, though.
What is the attitude of the people in that town? Are they pretty scared?
About the masks, Sydney? She says, can you hear her?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to breathe.
Okay, so do you get chapping under the mask? Chafing?
I get pimples.
Pimples, yeah, because I found my skin was getting really irritated the more I was wearing masks. Yeah. See, I'm allowed to not have a mask because when you're at a table and I have beer, I have a Guinness, you're allowed to not have the mask. So these rules don't really make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like you're walking through the restaurant, you have to have the mask on, but then you take it off. What's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people aren't thinking logically. They're just like, oh, okay, that's the rule. It doesn't make any fucking sense, but okay.
Yeah, it's compliance.
So why are we so compliant? Why are we not thinking this doesn't make this isn't helping anybody?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
it's an interesting social experiment.
I mean, I have to tell you, like, just about everybody I talk to, you know, like, I'm done at the shop now, but when I was in the shop and clients would come in, if they were wearing a mask, I would say, do you want me to wear my mask also? And they would say, no, I just wasn't sure what your policy was. And they would rip their mask off. So
it's all based on they're just going with the flow, man.
They're doing it because they want to be considerate of other people. Not because they think that it's effective. They don't know emotionally where you stand, and people are just polite and they want to be nice, so they're going to wear a mask. And that's what the government's banking on. That, you know, they're like, let's see.
Big time, and they're getting away with murder, I think.
Yeah, let's see how far we can push these people just for the sake of being nice to others. It's fucked up.
It's interesting, yeah.
I want to have a drink with you, so I'm going to go grab a shot of tequila.
Yeah, oh, I love tequila.
I love tequila. Yeah. I'll be right back.
Is it Patron? Do you do the Zoom meetings much yourself?
No, I don't.
No. You're lucky your job doesn't require it.
Right?
So many people.
All right.
All right, here's to you. Here's looking at you, kid. Cheers. Let's do the virtual
Cheers.
clink. That's good Guinness.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Are you Irish?
I'm Scottish.
I'm Scottish as well.
Scottish.
Do you know Fifeshire? Do you know where Fifeshire is?
No.
That's where
I
my
didn't have my
family's.
headphones on, so I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
I just did the ancestry DNA thing. So I got it for Christmas.
Yeah,
And
and
my results just came back.
100% Scottish.
51% Scottish.
Okay.
And then I'm Ukrainian, Polish, Swedish.
Eurotrash, basically. Yeah.
I'm a mutt.
Oh, you did well. You did well.
Awesome. I have a feeling I'm a mutt also. I have no idea.
Oh, sorry. I'm just chatting up the bartender here.
Oh, that's good.
Terribly unprofessional here. I'm supposed to be doing a podcast.
I just did a shot of tequila, so I don't think we're worried about that.
Yeah. Let's clink glasses again. Let's see if we can.
What? My timing was off. Click. I don't know if that's gonna work.
Maybe you can add a sound effect later, like a shatter sound.
So I don't know. I'm gonna I don't even know what. Is there a method to this that we're talking about? Do you think?
I don't think we need one. That's the
You don't
beauty of
think
it.
so?
No, I think as long as we get the concept right, I think the less we do, the better. And I think you're going to get more audience than you expect to get. And you'll think, why didn't I think of this before? This is so easy. Why was I making it so hard before?
Yeah, right.
Planning and the scheduling and no, you just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. That's the new format, right?
Well, that's kind of what I've been doing with all my interviews anyways, but just not from the perspective of, oh, this is myself, you know?
Yeah. It's a great concept. I mean, what how did you come up with it?
The phrase me, myself, and I just popped into my head, and then I thought, why did I think of that? And then bing.
Just popped in out of nowhere. That's interesting.
Yeah, so
that means you're probably claircognizant. Have you heard of this term, claircognizant?
No, what does that mean?
Claircognizance literally means clear knowing.
Oh yeah.
So it's a thought that comes into your head, and who knows where it comes from, but it's just so clear and true, and you just know that that's correct. Right?
Yeah.
So
I have several. Several things.
And then clairsentient, if you're a very sensitive individual, clairsentient is clear feeling, right? So you just feel that something is so true in your heart. So that's a less heady thing than claircognizance. So clairsentience is clear feeling.
Yeah, I can't say that I have clear feeling, but I definitely, there's been actually the most formative times in my life has been when it just comes right in. As soon as it gets into my head, it's like, oh, yep, that's true and also important. Don't forget that.
But you got it, baby. You're claircognizant.
Sweet. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Visibility, and now you have a name for it. Maybe it's worse that you have a name for it. I don't know.
Well, I didn't know it was a thing. It's good to know that it's a thing.
It's a thing. That's a thing. And that leads you to other things like origins, like your starseed ancestry. So it's a rabbit hole, man. It's a whole other rabbit hole for you.
Do you have your cards with you?
Yeah, I do.
Will you
want me
can I get a reading?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa, sweet. And then we'll probably have to wrap it up because I tend to get quite foggy headed after a tarot reading.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just processing it.
I have this deck again.
What's that one?
They call this the Celtic Tarot.
No. That's awesome.
How's your husband doing?
He's doing well.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Okay, he's not struggling at all?
Oh, we're all struggling.
Okay, because the card I was holding up, it sort of, for some reason I thought of him and I thought he might be struggling a bit.
Did you get anything else out of that? No.
Maybe some S&M.
Well,
yeah, personal.
hopefully that involves
I'll
me
show you the
beating
card. I
him.
mean, you'll know what I mean when you see the card, because
Okay.
I've never seen this card before, actually, so
Oh, whoa. Okay.
I didn't know it was in this deck. Let me find it.
Okay.
And do you want to ask a specific question, or do you want just a general?
General.
General, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I don't know, maybe that card doesn't exist. There it is. It's the Ten of Swords.
You got to keep talking so I can see it bigger.
It's the Ten of Swords, and the guy looks like he's wearing like leather pants.
Oh, this is Jason, like 100%. This
Does he
card.
have
Holy
giant hair and a
crap.
beard?
Mm-hmm.
Does that look like him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to me, this looks like a guy that's got a lot of enemies, maybe, and he's struggling. But he is a rock, right? He's got that rock behind him, and he's strong.
Mm-hmm.
And none of this stuff is going to bother him. And 10 is a pretty high number too. And there's these beautiful like purple clouds. These are such interesting artwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost looks like there's a heart in the rock there too. Yeah. So for some reason, it struck me that maybe that was.
Okay, I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him that you pulled that card.
Yeah. Tell him not to worry, though.
No, that guy looks like he can handle whatever's being thrown at him.
He does. Yeah, he looks like he's kind of like.
He's tired.
He's tied up. Yeah.
He's strong, but he's tired.
All right, so some cards came out for you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. You have just the one child?
No, I have 3.
You have 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want more?
No. 5 of Cups?
5 of Cups. So that's, oh, okay, no, it's not. Okay, interesting. Forget you saw that.
Oh.
We'll come back to it, though. So the 9 of Swords, this is your past. Like within this is your 2020, basically, like through the summer and the fall. That's, I think that's you, and that's kind of how you felt. You're hermiting a little bit, feeling like you're under a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Maybe some feelings of feeling like you're alone as well, even though you're not. And this is kind of your present right now, this one. Judgment.
What does that card mean to you? The imagery
I wouldn't worry too much about the judgment aspect of it. Even though I think you have very strong opinions, I think that you're fair. So if you are a judge, I think you're a fair judge. The 2 10s, I think, are very interesting, particularly because this was a 10 and that was your husband.
Mm-hmm.
You possibly are a 10 as well. At least today you're feeling like a 10 is a number for you, so there's synchronicity there.
Mm-hmm.
This indicates to me maybe an Atlantean or a Lemurian ancestry, but also a strong connection with a different star system than we're in. Strong spirit guides for sure, both from ancestry, but also from other origins. The dolphin, I don't know if you identify with that symbology at all. It's a very powerful animal totem. So that's.
Can you tell me more about that?
About the dolphin?
Yeah.
Strong connections with Atlantis and Lemuria, and obviously oceans. Have you ever lived by the ocean?
No, but my name means born by the sea, and I'm a Cancer, and my ascendant.
That's the sea there for Cancer.
My rising is Cancer, moon and sun. Like, yeah, it's all ocean.
So you're going nowhere but up right now. So that's really good news. And now we have the Five of Cups. So this is probably one of your spirit guides that's helping you, that's watching over you and saying, hey, look up the stairs. It's easier than you think. You know, you just follow the path up the stairs to the moon and you can go to the moon. Here's another of your spirit guides.
That one speaks to me quite a bit.
The sun, and that's very powerful. So if you can get sunshine, do it. If you can maintain a happy disposition, do it. Personal growth and personal care. So look after yourself first, and then it'll be way easier to look after everyone else if you look after yourself first. Okay. This one came out. That might be a representative of people that have come into your life recently. So that could be people like me. That could be other people you've met, like the
well, he looks like Bootsy Greenwood, and we're working on a project together, so that really makes me laugh.
Sorry, I don't know who Bootsy Greenwood is.
Oh, yay! Go look up Bootsy Greenwood, please.
Okay, should I look it up now?
You know what? Let me screen share.
Okay.
Let's do it. But I'm totally into this this tarot reading, and I almost feel like I should probably, because like my brain is firing, I almost feel like I should probably give you a reading when we're done too.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'd love that.
Hold on, I'm gonna get up Bootsy, but like I said, I'm really.
Bootsy Greenwood. How do you spell Bootsy? S-I-E at the end?
Just exactly how you think. No, it's a Y at the end. BootsyGreenwood.com. He's official. He has a website. Do you see him?
Yeah, I do see him actually.
Okay, so he looks. Hold up that card again.
How old is he? What is he? 40?
He's my age. We're a
so
few
he's 29
days
and a
apart.
half forever, right?
Huh?
29 and a half forever.
No. I think we're almost exactly the same age. We were both born in 82. But
wow.
we hold, and we're only a few days apart. Will you hold up the card again?
Which one?
The Bootsy card.
Oh, Bootsy. I think I put it away.
Oh, no. Hold it up again. Don't put my cards away yet.
Sorry.
Because I'm into this reading.
There's 2 more cards still.
Okay.
But I put away the ones that I'd shown you.
Oh, no.
There they are.
So when I do a reading, I get out of it everything I'm going to get out of it, and then I take a picture of it, because
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Several times I've gone like in my brain, like woken up in the middle of the night and been like, oh my God, that card. And then I can go back and look at the picture, and it's like a whole, remember when I did that reading for you? And then like the next day I had to send you a summary.
Yeah, I do remember that actually. Yeah. And you were it was very clear summary too. It was, you had all these epiphanies.
It's so weird, but I never get it.
If you.
What's that? Oh,
I found the card. I have it up. I don't know if you can see.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop the share. Okay, go ahead and talk.
He looks like Bootsy Greenwood to you, this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bootsy. Yeah, he does actually.
He really does.
Yeah, he does. That's funny. So is he somebody that you follow, or?
Well, so this is actually, Bootsy, I'm going to go off on how amazing you are right now. Okay. So when I first decided, I'm trying to decide where to start the story, and it's difficult because I have had a shot of tequila. So when I did a whole recorded talk series, lecture series, kind of. It was like a Q&A also, but I recorded it, video, bought all of this audio equipment, all of this stuff, and I recorded it and I put it online. And then I was like, what the hell do I do with all of this equipment that I just bought? I can't let it go to waste. I need to do something with it. And I was like, oh shit, I need to start a podcast. Yep. And at that time I had found Jessa Reed. And the very first episode of Jessa Reed's podcast that I listened to was Bootsy Greenwood. And he was talking about reality transurfing. And I was so...
Say that again, reality
transurfing. Oh my gosh.
Sounds interesting.
We could do a whole podcast on that.
And
we should. Yeah, so reality transurfing. And that's what they were talking about. And, you know, Jessa has this whole view that, like, we are God, you know, and so we are here to manifest reality as God. And
Jewish culture has known this
yes
for centuries.
Yes. Yep.
And that's why they call Christians goys, and they kind of make fun of Christians because they're like, well, you're a sucker.
Yeah. How do you not know that you're God?
Yeah. So it's not really, it is detrimental, but it's kind of funny too. Like, it's kind of just a joke. It's like a cosmic joke. It's like, you're such a sucker.
Yeah. How did you mean you really believe that Jesus Christ is the one and only Son of God? You really believe that?
Under the Sea of Galilee, there's rocks right under the surface where he walked on water. Those still exist today. It was a magic trick. It was the birth of show business.
Okay, so
magic trick,
encompass all of that imagery and belief and scorn that Jews have for Christians, and apply quantum physics to it.
Okay.
Because quantum physics is actually proving that we are God. We are God here experiencing the physical reality. Mm-hmm. And it requires all of humanity and all of animal kingdom and all of plant life to be able to experience that. And we are all God, and we're all connected. And quantum physics is proving that. And so Bootsy Greenwood is, he's out there to spread the word. He's like, hey, did you know that you are creating reality and we're all co-creating reality together? Holy shit, here's some tools to help you do that. That's
what makes your podcast idea so great, is that you've basically eliminated all the work, because you've just said, well, what if we're the same person?
No, we really are. And let's stop pretending that we're not and use that from our jumping off point. So, okay, but I have to tell you about Bootsy Greenwood. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I heard this podcast with Jessa Reed, and I messaged him and I said, hey, I'm starting a podcast. I don't know where to start. I don't know what software to use or anything. Can you just give me some pointers? I just reached out to him. I think I joined his Patreon, and I was like, hey, help me out. He messaged me back immediately, and he was like, what can I do to help you? I want to help you. Wow. And so he was my very first podcast guest. If you go back to Better Than Podcast #1, it's Bootsy Greenwood. And he said,
he's famous, right? This guy's famous.
He's got more notoriety than I do, that's for sure. But but when I messaged him, his entire attitude is, there is a reason that you contacted me. There's a reason that we get along well. I can do something to help you. And he actually offered to be my first guest on my podcast. And so that was that was almost exactly 1 year ago, because that podcast came out on January 1st, 2020.
Wow. I have to listen to that episode.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful episode.
You put the bug in my head, and that's marketing, folks. That's what do they call that? Guerrilla marketing. You're a genius.
What's that?
You're a guerrilla marketing genius. Well, because you just put the bug in my head about Bootsy Greenwood, and he's got a catchy name, and now I have to go listen to that episode.
He says it's his stripper name.
Is it a stripper name?
That's his stripper name.
He grew up on Greenwood Avenue, because wasn't it?
Yep.
Mine is Rusty Dogwood.
Mine is Dinky 11th Street.
Stinky?
Dinky
11th Street. I think you should make that porno. I think you should make that.
But
somebody offered to have me direct their pornography film actually recently.
Are you gonna do it?
I said, if I'm gonna do it, I'll need an ironclad contract first. I want to know how much I'm getting out of this deal. I'm not gonna do it for free.
Nope.
Because these guys, they can be dodgy, right?
And if you're gonna put my name on it, you better believe it's gonna be worth it monetarily, because my time is money.
I'm not putting my name on it. I'll be Rusty Dogwood.
Give him your stripper name. That's right.
Directed by Rusty Dogwood.
Yes.
So if by some weird coincidence someone watching this podcast sees this pornography that I direct, then they'll be able to link me up, but that's the only way.
I hope that happens.
I hope it happens too. Does that make us crazy, right?
No,
it just means
I think it means we're enjoying life. We're enjoying life.
The jokes that can happen, right? The cosmic jokes that are just going to come about without any effort at all.
Will you finish my reading?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's 2 cards left.
Yes.
This is future, possible future. What I tell people is remember tarot is a game. This is a possible future. It's not necessarily something that's going to happen, right? So this looks like, what is this? The 4 of Pentacles.
What does that mean to you?
Well, this is a guy who has his sight blocked. So he's blindfolded and he looks like he's kind of feeling his way around. Like maybe he's lost his sight. So it's a sense of loss. There's also all these daisies growing. So it's possible that he died.
Somebody told me to look out for daisies. They gave me an energetic reading and they told me watch for white daisies.
Whoa, and here they are. How long ago?
It was just a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, so you need to pay particular attention to the 4 of Pentacles, I guess.
I'm going to read as much about the 4 of Pentacles as I possibly can.
Look at these statues in the background. Person there. So that's like usually when there's spirits when they're not there and then they're there.
They look ancient.
Yeah, ancient. That's a really, like, the artwork is so crazy, right?
And again, it looks like Jason, my partner.
Interesting. So you might lose a loved one.
That was a powerful card, my friend.
And this is why I asked you if you wanted more children.
What is it? The what of cups?
The 9 of Cups.
No, but
I mean, she does look a bit like you.
She does, huh?
Her hair's darker. Do you dye your hair?
No, actually, I just went back to my natural color. This is my
natural.
Yeah, that's what I look like.
So yeah.
No, but I've had several people tell me, listeners of the podcast, that I have this very like motherly, nurturing energy, and I wonder.
I think you have a leadership energy, like a really powerful leader. Which can be matronly,
But it's interesting. It's interesting that you presented those 2 cards. One was a blind loss, and the next one was this mother card.
Yeah. So, and those 2 were linked. They came out together. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
What? Can you merit?
I don't think I have more for you.
No, but if you get more later, if you get,
it might, sometimes
message me and let me know, or pop.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's because you're very, like, you have a strong inner guide. So sometimes with people with strong inner guides, I say less because your answers are going to be clearer than mine all the time. Every time.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's about trust because people don't listen to themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
You always should listen to yourself.
Always. You're going to go wrong if you don't listen to yourself. Like, that's it. That's how it goes. I think that's really beautiful because I asked for a general reading. What's that one?
Judgment, or no, the sun. Beautiful. The stag there and the sun behind him. Actually, not too long ago, I posted a picture on Instagram that was like an actual stag, and the sun was right there. If you go back through my feed, you can see that and it's not as beautiful as this because, when you're trying to take pictures of wildlife, they move really quickly and you never get a good shot, especially with a phone. But
yeah,
it's interesting. That image, I love that image too. Like I think that's my favorite card in the deck.
I wonder if that stag is you.
It might be that occurred to me. That did occur to me.
It
but
might be. It might be you.
I set aside the ego, right? Because that's the ego coming in sometimes. So you have to.
Maybe, but
Put that aside.
because I feel so strongly, and like you said, what did you call it? Oh, babe, you gotta,
no! Don't spill the tequila. No.
you gotta go on out, baby. It's okay. Don't worry. You're okay. Just go on, and I'll be done soon. Don't worry.
You need to go. It's okay if you have to.
No, he's okay. He just ran out. He got upset that he spilled my water. But it's okay. No, I want to go further down that road because to me that sun in between, will you put that card up? The sun between the horns of that, yeah. Don't put the cards away until you take a picture of them.
Okay.
It's gonna up your tarot game, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
I mean, not that you're not on point, because I think you are.
I'm not as excited about tarot as maybe I should be. I don't know.
Maybe you need a different divination method.
Yeah, somebody told me runes once. They told me I should be doing runes.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought of the I Ching, but
Oh yeah, I've never tried I Ching.
my editor Lawrence really gets into the I Ching, and he'll send me some stuff from time to time, and boy, it's on point.
You have an editor? Do you have a publicist as well?
No, God, wouldn't that be amazing?
I don't think people can afford publicists anymore. Even like rich people, their publicists have been fired.
I've told the story many times on the podcast, so I'm gonna spare my listeners, but like my editor, the universe gave me my editor. Yeah. So here's what I think about that card. And it's the sun card.
It's the sun, yeah.
So here's what I think about that card. Actually, I had somebody give me another tarot reading. What's that one?
The Nine of Cups.
Okay. I had another person.
Cups mean heart. In some decks, it's the suit of hearts.
Your cup runneth over.
Cup runneth over. So that's what that old saying, "Cup runneth over," means. Is my heart is full.
Mm-hmm.
He is full, obviously, with child here, and 9 is, it's actually 9 is, when you talk about numerology, it's very significant. So that might be something you want to look out for, maybe.
Mm-hmm. But that stag in the sun card actually looks to me like an elk. I think it's an elk.
Look at that, and I've got that's funny.
Well, you've got your reindeer on. Yeah, that is your card. That's you, bud. And you light up.
Oh yeah, it does that.
Because when I had this idea for me, myself, and I thought this is the most original, authentic idea I've had for the podcast so far. And I don't know why. Maybe it was just like my higher self had to give me a fucking crazy synchronicity to get me to spot it. So you're wearing a horned beast on your shirt, and here he is with the sun behind him.
Oh, horned beast.
A horned beast. So I think that's just an invitation to recognize how relevant and important this is, this moment. Like, don't forget.
I think so.
Don't forget that this is really important. We need to have a resolution to keep at this. It's important.
I agree.
That's awesome. Holy shit. I've taken steps to make sure that I'm not a pregnant person anytime soon. So
it might not be you. Maybe it's somebody you know.
But I don't think that
it might just be a dream, because it's just like sometimes future readings, it could just be a dream.
I think that I am in the gestational period right now of a baby. And it's a metaphorical baby, but it's still a baby.
Oh, so it's like a creative child. Yeah. So
I think so.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So you're pregnant with ideas. I never even thought of that. Beautiful.
Yeah, and now that I just quit my 3D job, I can just concentrate on growing that baby, which is what every mother should be doing.
Grow that baby.
If you have a baby in you, that's all you should be doing, and that's plenty.
I don't think I do.
Well, I'm speaking more literally.
Parasite.
Mothers need to appreciate their pregnancy and actually pay attention to it. It's really important. It's really important.
I consider my YouTube channel as like a child to me.
Yes.
It's a mess, but
you know what though? Children don't come with instruction manuals.
They don't come with instructions. I don't know what I'm doing. Nobody does. Nobody does.
Boy, I think that's it. Well, you know what? Hold on one second, because I have to grab my deck, and because I just feel like I need to do like a 3-card reading for you real quick.
Oh yeah, please do. Thank you.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So I go up there to grab my deck, and Jason goes, "Now you're doing tarot readings?" I'm like, "Well, you should have known."
He really loves you. He really loves spending time with his mom.
Yeah. That was Jason, my partner, but he does also really love me and enjoy spending time with his mom.
Yeah, he's a mama's boy, I think.
Yeah, I'm his mama away from his mama.
Yeah.
Do you have a question, or do you want a general?
Oh. Yeah, I do have a question, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to share it, or do you want to keep it?
It's a career question. So I've recently applied for something, and I'm wondering if that's going to pan out for me quite quickly, or if I think I might have told you about this.
The directing the porn film?
I don't want to say too much because I don't want to influence the reading.
Okay. Hold on, we're almost there. And I'm just going to let them pop out at me.
That's the best way. They have a way of coming out.
Oh, and it's magical when they do.
Sometimes they explode.
Yeah, they do. And I cleaned up all the water on my floor that the boys spilled, so we don't have to worry about dropping them.
As long as you don't spill the tequila.
Don't spill the tequila. So I'm down to 1 tarot deck because I gave my other ones away.
That's good.
Yep. Oh, we got our first one. So I picked this up in reverse, but it's the 7 of Swords.
The 7 again. Didn't you pull a 7 of Wands for me last time?
I think I did.
I think you did. So 7s. And it's funny, I've been talking with my friend Jess about 7s. 7s are blowing her mind right now.
Oh, really?
Oh,
what does she say?
Well, she's recently discovered that she might be of Pleiadian origin, and I don't know if you know about the Pleiades star system, but there's 7. Yeah. They're called the 7 sisters. Mm-hmm. So there's 7 major stars, and that links directly. She's Native American, so that links directly to her ancestors and some stories that her elders are telling her. So it's just she's getting all these 7s coming in, and she's trying to free herself from addiction, and I think she's going to do it, but she's going to do it through a spiritual path, as opposed to through a medical path that hasn't worked for her. Like, she's been to rehab many times, and it's not working for her. But
so
spiritual will help
that's where it all comes back to spirituality, doesn't it?
Sometimes that works, or purpose. Sometimes if people find purpose, they can free themselves from addictions or demons, or
Yeah. So the main energy, is that backwards for you? It is, isn't it? So the main energy of this card is crisis. And it's supported by the moon and Aquarius.
Wow. Can I see it again? Can you see like a close-up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks awful. That looks like the end of the world.
It looks like everyone turning against you, doesn't it?
Blood moon. Oh, is that me? And everybody's against me. Yeah, I'd say that's probably like a past present card for me right now.
So what I think is really interesting about this is as your patch self, because this is the patch tarot deck. So as your patch self is up on this ledge being pushed to the edge by all of these accusers, look at your higher self is up there looking down on you. And if you look, Your higher self is just as peaceful as can be, cool as a cucumber.
What is that? Is it like a dragon? Is there like a shape in the sky there?
No, it's well, it's the Aquarius can you see it? Constellation?
That's Aquarius, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius. Isn't that
We are
interesting?
officially in the age of
Are we
Aquarius.
officially in it as of today?
The 21st.
Right. Did you have a party on the
We celebrated the winter solstice. Yes, we did.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I meant to have a party, but it fell through. We were gonna have a bonfire.
We did burn the Yule log, and we set intention for the coming year. That was really beautiful. We offered honey and salt and
Do you produce honey there?
no, actually the honey was given to me by one of my clients. She has bees. So it's local honey, yeah. But yeah, so there's our first card. I want to draw 2 more.
And so what number was that?
7.
That was a 7 of swords?
7 of swords.
Seven
Moon
of
in
swords.
Aquarius.
Yeah, with
Crisis.
Aquarius. Yeah.
But here's the interesting part. I almost forgot to mention. The opposite, the reverse of this card is strife. In the upright, it's crisis. But in the reverse, it's strife, which to me is really interesting because you can be in a crisis and be cool as a cucumber. You don't have
I'm better in crisis than I am when things are calm.
You don't have to be in strife. You don't have to be suffering just because there's a crisis. So that to me is a really wonderful card, actually.
That's interesting.
And the fact, but it did, when I pulled it, it came up in reverse.
So that means
Strife.
Strife. Yeah, so suffering.
But like I said, just because you're in a crisis doesn't mean there has to be strife. So I'm going to pull my next card here. I think you're right. I think that's a past present card.
I think so. It makes sense to me. That resonates very strongly. You're good. You're good at this.
Good. I'm glad.
You're good at this.
I feel like I take too long. Like I wish I could come to my conclusions faster.
I don't think you're taking too long at all.
Okay. Oh. Ah! Okay, the Princess of Swords. Look at how beautiful she is.
Oh, wow. What deck is this?
This is the Patch Tarot deck. This is the evolution of tarot.
That's like an interdimensional, that's like a 5th dimensional or 9-dimensional, like that's higher dimensional being, I would say.
Okay, so this is in the upright, which I go ahead.
It's not a praying mantis, is it? Is that a mantis being? Does it look?
No, this is the Princess of Swords. So she's actually standing above her, she's standing above a flower of life. If you look down at the base. I don't know. I'm trying to get it to focus so you can see the detail there. So you see that grid pattern? That's a sacred geometrical.
Like a portal, like a light portal through stars or something.
And she's holding herself, standing in a yoga pose, holding herself by her sword.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
And the energy of this card is creative, which, yeah, boy.
And look at all the colors in her shawl, like all the rainbow colors.
That's her hair.
Is that
Those
her hair?
are her colors. Those are her natural, beautiful, authentic colors.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And the reverse of this card is wasteful, but this did not come up as reverse. This came up in the upright position, which is creative. And all, to me, in the context of you, this is, look at, trust your sword, stand on your sword, balance on your sword, because that's all you need.
Is it a sword or is it a staff?
It's a sword. This is the sword. It's the Princess of Swords.
The Princess of Swords. So it's definitely a sword.
Yep. And you're I would say that your creativeness is your sword. So this is fucking perfect.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. The pen is mightier than the sword, or the paintbrush is mightier than the sword. Look what card has been coming up for me.
Hold on,
this is a very strong archetypal card that.
Oh my good, yes, the Ace of Swords.
Yeah.
That's been
But
coming up for you?
Sword of Stone mythology, right? The Arthurian legend. So.
Yeah, I would say this is all so far a call to trust yourself. Look at this. Look at your higher self looking down on you, saying, "It's okay.
Wow.
It's okay. You got this. You got this."
But you realize, Lindsay, you're also doing your own reading right now if we're sticking to the concept of this.
Yes, sir. I'm talking to myself right now.
You got it. Me, myself, and I. Coming soon to Spotify.
Speaking of doing a reading for myself, this card has been coming up for me quite a bit.
Having a hard time. Oh, there's a set. Is it all sevens?
This is the Six of Discs.
The Six of Discs.
Yeah, so the Six of Discs main energy is generosity. It's supported by the moon in Taurus. And this card to me...
Taurus. Are you a Taurus? I forget. Sorry.
I'm a Cancer.
You're a Cancer. You said that already. I should know this.
But the... okay. So when this card comes up for me in particular... To me, what it speaks to is using the stubbornness and the bullheadedness of the Taurus to drive. But the main energy of this card is generosity. So if you think about that, if you think about all of your striving, all of your pushing, all of your super masculine, logical, one foot in front of the other efforts, can only be supported if you also do it with an air of generosity.
So generosity is key there.
What can you give so that the universe understands your sacrifice and your contribution and wants to return to you in kind?
Well, I try to give of myself. I mean, I gave a donation earlier to a local church here. Not very much because I don't have much these days, but you know, I gave a little because they've helped me out for sure.
I think that this is not necessarily monetary. I think
so you mean like giving of yourself.
Yeah, I think that you have something in particular that you could be generous with, whether from my personal perspective, as you talking to myself, I would say that that would be something like tarot.
Something like tarot. So giving away free tarot readings.
Maybe, but not necessarily. Maybe teaching other people tarot.
Oh, teaching people tarot.
How can you can lead a man to the water, but you can't, or you can teach a man to fish, but...
Because I think I'd prefer to teach tarot than actually practice it.
That's
and there
amazing.
probably are a lot of people that want to learn, so yeah.
My brain is looping on how I can't repeat quotes.
You can't repeat quotes.
No, I always butcher quotes.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm going to take a picture of this real quick so that I can save it, because like I said, usually later on I end up having like an aha moment.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. I have all your cards laid out, so I'll take a good to decent picture and send it to you.
Awesome. Let me just, here we go. Come on. Come on, camera.
Don't fight it. Everything happens for a reason.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it?
Yep, I got it.
Right on.
So let's wrap up this episode. What's the main theme you think, Tim, for this episode?
Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unity.
Yeah. We're all one, baby.
We're all the same.
Mm-hmm. All right, so going forward, we're gonna do more of these. I'll have other people on so that I can practice and get really good at this.
Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your subscribes. Do share us on social media. If you made it this far, you're a fan.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Share Cosmic Threader on Instagram and YouTube.
And I follow back too.
Yeah, there you go. We'll give you a follow back.
So
yeah. 2021 is going to be a crazy ass year. Let's make it as good.
2021. That's crazy to me that I exist, and I don't know. Like, here's for the next episode. We're going to talk maybe about is this reality? Because some people think that we're in a simulation. Have you heard of this simulation theory?
Of course.
You want to talk about that next time?
Yeah, and then that would be a perfect time.
I should ask you, do I want to talk about that next time?
We want to talk about reality transurfing next time.
There is no we. It's me, myself, and I.
I want to talk about reality transurfing next time. It would be cool. It would be cool to get Bootsy on here, and maybe we could do like a 3-way Zoom call.
I would love that. That'd be awesome.
I haven't told him about this podcast idea yet. So
get the podcast up. Just send him the link, and with the link say, hey,
yep.
This is my new brainchild. I want to have you on again, and we'll have a 3-way discussion, or 4-way if he has a co-host. And yeah, that sounds awesome. I think that's exactly, and that's gonna. I think this podcast is gonna be easier than you think, maybe right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because it can be tough to get an audience.
Also, Wednesday Morning Coffee. Check out Wednesday Morning Coffee on Spotify.
Thank you. Yeah, I should be like, yeah.
Don't worry about self-promotion. I'll do it for me. All right. So good. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm glad to see you're doing so well. I can't wait to talk to you again.
Okay. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
I'll see me next time.